Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and dreamers of all ages, welcome to the Disney Countdown Show.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Hello, and welcome back to the Disney Countdown Show. I am Megan the Magical Millennial. Joining me today is the ever so lovely and wonderful co-host, the Dapper Danielle. How are you doing over there, Danielle? We have a lot to talk about today. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing fine. Right now, I'm doing fine. I don't have to worry about for another 24 hours anything.
Good. Okay.
As we're recording this, y'all, this is before our dear Uncle Milton is going to be arriving on our doorstep here in Florida, and he's just looking for his stapler, and I think it was just the breaking point for him. It's really what it was, and he's just done.
Sounds like Milton. Yeah,
it's such a Milton move.
Milton thing to do.
I think you know what? That's what we Floridians are really angry about. You know. Mm-hmm. Out of all the names that'd be coming in here through Central Florida, it was frickin' Milton.
Sorry,
right?
I shouldn't be laughing.
Like we want to like give us a Zeus. Give us a what was another name somebody suggested? Like a I don't know, something
big,
a little chutzpah, you know. And instead we got Milton. Ooh, strikes fear into your heart. I don't know. So I think that's what we have issue with is like, no, it's a very powerful storm. It's a very impressive storm.
It is.
But then you read it's a category 5. His name is Milton. And we're just like, why can't we give him something like a different name, something like that? Can we change his name now in the middle of in the Gulf? Can we do that?
He sounds like the tattletale, the brown noser of The Office. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he totally is.
Yeah.
He has 25 years seniority with the company. He has been in the same position underneath the VP as like a secretary or a higher up secretary. And I think he's just done. He's done.
In a way, that makes him so much worse than this brawny guy who actually has a lot of muscle. It just makes him a little skeevy, you know?
Oh,
and that's
totally
how we feel about Milton. I hope everyone stays safe. I hope everyone is okay through this. Of course, when this episode does air, Milton will have already been long gone. He will have passed. But I'm
playing the game.
I'm praying for everyone over there.
Right. We'll now be playing the game of once this episode airs, will Danielle have power back on again? That's really the question.
That is the question. Yes, will power be restored? Oh my gosh. Praying for you guys. I am hoping everything... I hope everything's okay, and Danielle, I hope you get your power back. It's so crazy to me because obviously I'm from California. I've never seen, been through, or dealt with a hurricane, been near it in my life, right? Okay, we had quote unquote a hurricane come through. What was that, last year in August or something?
That was called rain. Y'all don't even experience that.
That was rain. Yeah, let's be totally real about that one. So we were talking about it before we aired that, I didn't even know winds could get up to 180 miles an hour on planet Earth. That blows my mind. And that's what's happening, over the ocean when these hurricanes form. I'm just like, that is so wild to me. And, obviously I don't do well with wind. It's very scary. It's a very scary thing. So again, I'm praying for you guys over there, and all over Florida, because I know it's going to hit certain parts pretty bad. So, stay safe, everybody. But
we'll keep y'all posted. Don't worry. I'll be texting y'all and letting y'all know.
Yes, for sure. Thank you. We do have our second half of our top 10 of obscure Disney facts this week. And Danielle, I must say, I think I did a better job with this one, my 1 through 5. I actually am very proud of it.
Okay.
And looking forward to talking about it. And of course, hearing yours week after week, because I love hearing your top 5 as well. But of course, if you are new here, if you are just listening to us for the first time, we are on social media. Of course, we do have our independent our individual social accounts. I am the magical millennial _ She is the Dapper Danielle. We post on there quite a bit, but we do have at Disney Countdown Show is our handle for our podcast. That's on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. We are Pod Disney on Twitter /the X, and we post our full episodes on YouTube, which we'll get into this in just a moment, but that is the only way that you can watch us live and see our beautiful faces right now, because we are no longer hosted on Spotify. So we changed platforms, but again, we'll get to that in just a moment, because Danielle, I believe we have some reviews and some messages to get to.
We do. So y'all, even though our hosting site has changed, that really hasn't changed very much for y'all. In the most part, it really has only changed the like paid subscription aspect of it. But if you're part of the Patreon, it doesn't matter anyway. But we can still get reviews wherever you're listening to your podcast from. So it could be from Apple, Spotify. You can also message us directly through the Disney Countdown Show on Instagram. And that's where a lot of these come from. But so feel free to go ahead and write those out. And we try to go through and read them as best as we can. And this first one is from Apple, actually. We're still getting used to this layout because this was something that wasn't available for the longest time. Spotify was not.
Spotify reviews, correct? Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this one is from Disney girl Megan. Oh, and she spells her name just like you, Megan.
Oh, yay! Hi, Megan.
Yeah. And this one is a 5-star saying, "I love this podcast. Funny enough, I follow both Megan and Danielle on the socials, but that's not actually how I found the podcast.
Oh.
I was looking for new content to listen to on my commute, deciding to type in Disney, and they popped up a picture of 2 creators that I love to watch. I have also enjoyed listening back to the beginning and getting caught up to now. The only thing I'll be sad about is once I'm caught up and I'll have to wait a whole week between episodes. I can't get enough of the podcast. So of course had to join the Patreon as a proud DC 33 member.
Oh,
thank you, Megan and Danielle, for bringing such magic and joy to so many people, and episode after episode. Heart emoji. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. That's so cool that our podcast pops up when you type in Disney on
hey, you know, that just means, again, the algorithm is working. Something is working in the back end, and that's all we care about.
We love to hear it. Well, welcome, Megan, and thank you for joining the Patreon, too. It's very exciting. We appreciate it. We also do have some fan messages. If you don't want to leave a review, or if you want to type a longer message in there, we do check those on Instagram. You can DM us there. So that's where these are from. This first one's from Amber. And she says, "Hi, Countdown friends. My 7-year-old son has been listening to the pod with me, and he wanted me to tell you guys he really likes the show, and he has a countdown suggestion of favorite parks." Oh, okay. He's curious how you'd rank them all. Also, I don't know if requesting guests is the thing, LOL, but we'd love to hear Mr. Thomas, who's V Thomas English, on the pod. We watch all his videos and think it'd be a super fun collab. Thanks again for sharing all the magic. Okay, Thomas is great, and I've been following him for a long time. That would be really fun. So hey, we might reach out to him, I think, for next season.
For the longest time, I met him for the first time when he was down here.
It's Vinny, isn't it? Vinny?
Yeah,
Vinny Thomas. Yeah, thank you. Okay, sorry, Vinny.
And we ran into him over at Big Top Circus over here at Disney World.
I was with you.
Yeah. And that was my first time meeting him. You had met him before with previous events.
I had. I did. Yes, at the box lunch event.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's when he was like, "Oh, I've seen your stuff before," and I'm like, "I've seen your stuff before." And now we're mutuals, and we follow each other back and forth, even on Instagram too. So he'll see my stories, and I'll see his, and very amusing. I am impressed with the amount of costumes his wife lets him have.
I know. But, I feel like she's all about it. She's, also a Disney fan, is in some of his videos sometimes. I think it's really sweet. And I like their dynamic. His videos are mostly him, but when she's in them, I really like it. So,
well, and then once you see them together, you're just like, yes, it's definitely the yin and yang of the relationship. They are definitely opposites, but they have a lot in common and they balance each other.
They do, and they support each other. Yeah, it's awesome. And just so you guys know, he is just as light and funny in person. He's very
just as
nice.
chaotic too.
And just as chaotic, yes. That's a great suggestion. And then for I love the theme park countdown idea. I think that's great. I could tell you right now that DCA, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot would definitely be a top 3 in the top 5, if not my top 3. Because I love those parks so much. I feel bad for not saying Disneyland, but that's in top 5 for sure.
Well, and see, this like the top 3 or 5, you could even do every park around the world. I think we can't do that judgment just yet, just because we haven't visited every park around the world yet. Well, I'm still manifesting, still putting it out there.
Correct. Well, we could.
I would say 5. Out of the ones I've definitely visited, it would probably be Hollywood Studios, Epcot. Dare I say Disneyland?
You do dare say. You dare
DC. I would say DCA. I don't know, but I love me my Hollywood. I love me my Epcot. And I get asked that by cast members all the time here in Walt Disney World. They're like, which one's your favorite park? And I'm like, hold on. There's different reasons for all of them.
Right.
And if I had to choose, it's usually going to be parking as a local and which one's easiest to get in and out of.
True. Facts. I get that question a lot. What's your favorite park? Like Disneyland or Disney World? I'm like, y'all, that's not a straightforward answer. If you're a Disney fan, I'm sorry. And especially if you're a local to either park, I'm always going to say Disneyland. That's home to me, right? Right. But I love visiting World. And there's so many great things about World. So yeah, it's not a straightforward answer.
Well, and that's what I've adopted what Cole says. And Cole says, he's like, I love living in Disney World. I love vacationing in Disneyland. And I think the same goes for you.
It's the opposite. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Vice versa.
So
absolutely.
That's the answer I've been telling everybody now.
That's a great way to put it. Thank you, Cole, for phrasing that. All right. We do have another review here. Danielle, would you like to take this one?
This one's from Tyler over on Instagram. It says, I'm going to Disney World the week before Thanksgiving. And no, it's the last week. Oh, hold on. Let me just say that again. This one says, I'm going to Disney World the week before Thanksgiving, and no, it's the last week before Food and Wine, but was still hoping that Epcot would have the tree up, or is that something I'd have to wait until Festival of the Holidays to do? Much love to both of you, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
You know, we're going to talk about it in a second, but Christmas is coming rapidly fast in the year of our Lord 2024. And I don't know. In previous years, the tree, all Epcot decor is one of the last things to go up. And usually by Thanksgiving week, it is up for the most part. So at this point, I would say it is a very likely chance that most of the decor will be up by Thanksgiving week. It'll definitely be up at the neighboring resorts.
Yes.
And, so I would say a hard maybe.
If you are visiting Magic Kingdom as well, definitely. That's going to be up
every
there.
other park will have its stuff already. All holiday activities will already have started by the 15th at the latest. Mm-hmm. And come Thanksgiving week, it should be starting to roll out into Epcot because they want to have most of the decor up. And then they just change over the booths overnight for the festival itself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I totally forgot about that. That Food and Wine really goes into the holiday season. That's happening at other parks.
I mean, we have such a big park to decorate, or out of since we have 4, it's like, okay, who do we prioritize first? Christmas lights are being installed this week over at Hollywood Studios.
Oh wow, okay.
They were supposed to start going up when the hurricane hits, and I think a lot of that's been like, okay, do we like hold off on it now? Does this throw a wrench in some of our plans? So yeah, we will see. But yeah, don't be surprised if those Hollywood stars on the road down towards Tower Terror, if those are not up here within the next 2 weeks.
Wow. All right. Merry Hollow Thanksmas. That's amazing. Okay, so we do have one more message here, fan message, and it's Jackie, and she says, "Hey, I actually met Danielle a month ago at Magic Kingdom. Oh, nice. My best friend has been following her for years and used to watch her in the middle of the night with her baby. Oh." Anyways, I had a quick question. I am launching a podcast soon with a friend, and she's moving to a different state. What platform do you use to record with the split screen? Love your pages. Thanks in advance. Jackie, congrats on the new podcast. It's going to be so fun. So yes, the platform that we use is called Riverside, and it's a very convenient platform to use if you are, of course, in completely different areas. Obviously, Danielle and I are completely separate parts of the coast, and it has as technology does. It has its flaws, but it's still very convenient. We enjoy it, and I hope our producers enjoy it as well as they edit in the background after we're done recording. So
I think
riverside.com.
I think the nice thing about Riverside versus like using Zoom or something like that is that it does save the video, and then it also saves the audio too into separate tracks, I believe. Where if you did a Zoom, it's recording it all together. So you kind of, if you're a nerd for the audio side, that's why everybody likes Riverside.
Yeah.
So that when you plug in your fancy microphones, it does all the balancing and all that good stuff.
Yep. And that's it's riverside.fm, by the way. I think that's the
like radio.
The difference with anything else. Like radio, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, congrats, Jackie. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. You have to send
I'll
message
gatekeep a lot of things. Like I'll gatekeep what bathrooms I use on Disney World property. But when it comes to certain things, like no, yeah, that's a personal thing. But when it comes to Riverside and like how we operate and how we do stuff, we'll try to be very transparent with y'all. How we operate, how we do content. Yeah, those are good questions to ask. So thank you, Megan.
Yeah, CapCut has been my best friend the last couple years. So if anyone's interested in making content,
CapCut have a very interesting relationship.
Do you really?
She's messing up my audio.
Friend. What?
Right. So like it'll like take I'll save a video and it matches up inside the app and I'll save it. And then my mouth won't even match up with my words halfway through it, and then it'll resync itself back up. So yeah.
Oh, she's being
me and Danny have had many a conversation over it. He's like, "What on earth are you using?" I'm like, "I'm just trying to use the thing," and it's just being angry at me. It's fine.
I have yet to have that issue, knock on wood, but she's being moody. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
When is technology not with me though?
It's true.
It's Kevin's girlfriend, CapCut.
Kevin. Oh man, we were just saying it earlier because I believe Megan said she joined our Patreon fam, and we do have first of all, we have a Patreon. It's if you search Disney Countdown Show on Patreon, you will find us. We have some new members of our family that just joined. It's Stephanie and Mary. So hello, Stephanie and Mary. Thank you for being a part of the Disney Countdown Show Patreon. We are excited to have you, and also. This is another big thing, y'all, which Danielle did mention earlier. Paid subscriptions are no longer on Spotify. So if you want access to our bonus episodes and all of our fun additional content that we make, as well as, there's tons of stuff, virtual hangs, we do giveaways, we have the Discord. There's so much on our Patreon that is like, in addition to the episodes that we create. You can also join us live. We have a live audience right now too. Hello, Mindy, Emily, Sam, Haley. Hi guys. You can be a part of the Patreon, so that gives you all of the stuff that the paid subscriptions did and more. And it's same price, so that's great. But we just have a lot of fun on the Patreon too. You only get the bonus with the paid subscriptions. You get all of this extra stuff, fun magic coming your way if you join the Patreon.
And it's the same price as the base Patreon, correct?
The Park Hopper, right? The Park Hopper option. That's our base.
Or Pass Holder.
No, it's Pass Holder's the second one.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it's the same as price as Park Hopper.
Yeah, right? I'm not going crazy there when I say that. Okay. So if you want to join the fam, we do have the link in our episode notes, or of course you can search Disney Countdown Show on Patreon itself. And yeah, That's the Patreon. We do have another bonus episode coming up very soon.
But that's really the only difference that we got for switching podcast host servers. And then it's just affecting our business side on the back end and how the episode goes out to multiple people. Besides that, nothing else has really changed on how you listen and how you interact with us. It's just how you do one step of the paid side. And that's correct. It. So yeah, come hang out with us over on the Patreon fam. We appreciate you. Oh, and I ran into somebody else. What was his name? Oh goodness, I ran into you. To whoever I ran into, that's part of the DC33 family also. And it was at All Star after I checked in my cousins into the resort. Yes, they're staying here through the hurricane. And I met him in the lobby and he's like, oh my goodness, it's Danielle. It's nice to meet you. I'm part of the DC33. I'm like, oh my goodness. And, yeah, we got a couple of looks and awesome. It was good though. So it was great meeting you. And I love that so much.
It wasn't Adam. To meet Adam was there recently, but okay.
I don't think it was Adam.
Okay.
I'm blanking on the name. There was so much happening that day. But it was good. It was good. I'm glad I got to. I love it when I meet people, especially
when you meet the Patreon people. It's really fun to chat and see you guys in the parks. We've had that happen a few times, so hope to keep seeing you guys.
Yeah.
So Danielle, we talked about everything that's going on over there. Are you just hunkering down? Are you? We talked about you potentially going to a Disney resort if power goes out.
Well, okay. So the nice thing is that my cousins, so they literally just checked in and they, when did they check in? They checked in on Monday before the hurricane arrives, and they will be here through the week. Staying at resorts. And so I've already been told that if my power goes out or if I need to go anywhere, I have a Murphy bed available to me in the hotel room. Okay, good. So I have options. I'm good to go. If I need anything, I know people to hunt down to be able to find stuff. A lot of people were messaging me being like, Danielle, are you going to evacuate? Are you going to do something? In all honesty, no. I'm not going to. Where the parts that need to evacuate are the ones closest to the water, the ones that are going to have a storm surge. We might have a little bit of flooding, but I'm also not. My place is not in a flood zone. I am located on the second floor. There's nothing beneath me except my garage. The garage just got cleaned out. Mom and Dad have taken all their stuff to Nashville. So if anything happens, it's going to affect Buggy Boo. Buggy Boo's inside the garage though, and also should not be super affected.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it. I got my stuff. I got my supplies.
That's good.
I got Kevin to keep me company.
Kevin.
And
our friend Kevin.
Yeah. I think that today I gotta run around and get all of my external batteries and stuff charged.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I have very much. I only have one fuel rod. I know, right? You and Eric, man, are the ones that have the giant battery packs, and you're ready for all the things. I don't have any of those.
Eric is the one that's like ultra prepared. He's got like the OtterBox ones. I have solar mobile chargers. They're ones that you can they take power from obviously the sun, so you don't have to charge them or anything, which is really nice. And then I do have the little anchors that attach to the back, and I have multiple fuel rods. But you gotta swap them out. I don't. There's no swapping machine around here in Costa Mesa, so.
Well, and that's where what else did I do? I got I have like my little solar light also, so it's actually it was one of those outside patio lantern things, and it actually glows pretty bright. I switched out the solar battery in it so that way it actually holds more of a charge instead of like the little so many watt ones that comes with it. I bumped it up and it's like doing pretty good. So I'm like, okay, that's just charging on my back porch right now. And I think I'm more concerned about the heat. So I'm really just trying to decide if I make my apartment freezing cold a couple hours before it rolls in, just to try to retain the coolness in the apartment for the first couple hours.
Because the heat will obviously come back and you won't have power for the AC. I get that.
Right.
Yeah. Now I understand. Okay.
I mean, it's
so many things to
inevitable.
think about. I know
But it'll
it
make
is
them first
inevitable,
night a little more comfortable.
Right. Oh man. So again, so many things to think about and be prepared for. But I know, Danielle, that you've been through it once before or many times before. So you got this. Again.
Yeah.
Stay safe,
And
everyone.
if you see a video later of me riding an alligator across the street to try to get to Publix, don't be surprised. That's really what it is.
Right. Florida things. We love it.
Florida things. And I think
man.
that's when, when people, we tell each other, be safe. Like I was in the drive-through at Starbucks real quick just to get a little chai latte. I was like listening to my fall playlist. I'm like, I need fall vibes. Phew. And went up there and got the little thing, and the little barista's like, all right, have a good night, stay safe. I think that's really a Floridian way of talking to one another and just being like, don't do anything stupid. Don't let the inner Florida man win. Don't do anything. Don't do Florida.
It. It's kind of like we always say, I mean, because you drive everywhere, drive safe. Like no matter, you always have to drive, right? And you're always going to be like stuck in traffic. It's kind of like safe flight, or just take care, be good, make good choices.
That's really what it is. It's like, be safe. It's really just don't do anything dumb. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go like, I understand we all have paddle boards. I have a giant, I have a surfboard in my garage. So I'm like, I'm good. If I need to paddle out anywhere, I'm fine. But yeah, just don't do anything dumb. Like I say, you'll see me riding an alligator across the road, but you probably will. Not by me, but by other people. And that's why they say stay safe, because they'll go and do stuff like that.
Someone's going to try, right? Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Florida. Well, I mean, from California, there's not too much to report over here.
There is stuff to report, but I think that means that we need to go ahead and get into some breaking Disney news.
Let's do it.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news. Megan, I've been seeing this thing about Disneyland is bringing back $50 tickets for kids.
Yes, ticket deals.
I didn't really pay attention to it because I thought it was all just like a ticketing scam type thing. Is it legit?
It's legit. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. They had this deal recently, earlier this year, and it ended, I want to say, before summer. But I could be wrong on that. But they did have it this year. And yes, they're bringing it back, $50 tickets for the kiddos. And so, yeah, if you have a child who is over 3 years old, by the way, do not be bringing in your kids, okay, who are, 3 or over and thinking they're going to get in for free. That's a recent topic, by the way.
Oh, gosh, yes. We never actually talked about that.
We didn't talk about it because
we didn't talk about that.
Is that appropriate for our podcast? But we can talk about it.
Well, it is appropriate now that we know the answers, because
we know the answers.
Y'all remember the video of the lady that got arrested and the two little baby ones holding onto her legs? Like she got escorted out of DCA. It
was DCA. Yep. It was the area near Jumpin' Jellyfish and Silly Symphony Swings where she was quote unquote detained.
And that's where everybody was tagging Megan and I and being like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, is this appropriate? This woman was a regular of sneaking in her kids. So she, like, the video of her sneaking into Disney World using the stroller, was that the same woman, or was it just the same concept used as an idea?
I looked at it and no, it's not the same person.
Okay.
No.
But she did something similar. She would use a stroller to sneak in both her kids and make them pretend that they were younger than 3, but really they're like 4 and 5.
They are definitely over 3 years old. That is correct. The allegedly what happened is that they were asked at the gate, and it's not clear whether she entered from the front of the park or the Pixar Place entrance, which is by Little Mermaid. It was not clear or sorry, she was asked, how old are they when they would, and that's what they usually ask when the kids look suspiciously old. You know, they're getting near 3 years old. And she didn't say anything. She walked right past him. So this has happened, but this has happened before. They might have had her picture flagged before because they knew that she kept doing this. So they probably, you know, and people were like, but she was in the back of the park. She was in Disneyland. No, y'all, okay, listen, things take a while. Things need to be communicated through walkie-talkies, through their comm systems, whatever, that, okay, this woman is now in the park. We need to intervene and talk with her because this is not allowed. Obviously, she's breaking the rules. And apparently, and y'all, also, Disneyland, Disney in general, they do not want to cause a scene. They do not want this to happen. They will do everything in their power to keep things calm, to keep things civil, so they don't cause attention, they don't attract attention.
Or at least get her backstage so then they can cuff her, kind of thing.
Pull her away, right, from the main part of the park, out of the public eye. But she did not comply at all and started getting, you know, a little aggressive, either with her words or just the way that she was acting. So that's why Anaheim PD, they are stationed in the park. There are police in the park at all times. They had to intervene, and she was not cooperating. So that's why they had to arrest her and put her in handcuffs and walk her out of the park. And unfortunately, she was with her kids, so they had to go with her because that was, you know, that was their mom. So yeah, but the fact that it got that far, it should never happen. You know, if you're being asked and questioned by security, just how about we listen? How about we try to come to a, you know, nice resolution? She did not want to do that. I was actually waiting for, because she posted a video. I don't know if you saw that, Danielle. She created
an account to be able to try to save face and
she had a video.
Say her side of the story. Yeah, and everybody's just like, honey, no.
we know what happened. We know what you did. I don't think there's any defending yourself here.
No.
Because I was waiting for her to make a video, but I don't think she ever did. So
she probably got legal advice. The legal advice said, honey, just shut up.
Yeah,
don't say nothing else. Just be quiet.
Yeah, so let's not do that, John. Let's follow the rules, because that's Disney will find you. They are very, very good at what they do. And they got cameras, they got people. All eyes are on the people in the park. I think they have their own Homeland Security department. It's crazy what Disney has. So don't.
It is crazy what we have.
Make good choices. Yeah.
Make good. Yeah. That's all we can really say, is that we're just going to leave it at that. Make good choices.
Anywho, so the $50 ticket deal is going to make that a whole lot easier for you to take your kids to Disney. If you're on a little bit more of a budget, it's a good deal, because usually the kids' prices are nearing $100. So it's almost 50% off to take your kid to Disneyland. And I think that's
she could have paid $100 instead of a couple thousand in legal fees.
Exactly. Yeah. And a good old ban for life. So exactly. I don't know if it's for life, but a good ban. So is that ages 3 to 9, Danielle? Is that the range for Disney child tickets?
I thought it was 3 to 12.
At 3 to 12. You're right. It's 3 to 12.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is back. It's a legit thing, and it's a pretty darn good deal for the kids' prices, again, because those were getting up there for one-day passes.
I already kind of mentioned it about how Christmas was rolling out. Come to find out from I said originally in our notes as we're looking at our thing, I said, the Christmas collection has fully arrived at Animal Kingdom as of October 7th. Y'all, this is so like record early.
This is early. Did the whole collection drop, or was it just like bits and pieces like we got at World of Disney?
Whole display. I think they got out of what the collection that we know is coming from like Disney Store. Now that I think about it, it's the core collection. It's so the green, the snowman, all the matching pieces of that section of the collection.
So we got that too at World of Disney yesterday. Yes. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing is, according to my merchandise friends, If you have it in stock notice went out yesterday of if you have it, if it's been delivered to your store, you can put out whatever you have for all locations, Disney World, Disneyland, everywhere. So it also started popping up in Magic Kingdom. Some popped up in Epcot, but Animal Kingdom had the most out of everybody. And y'all, that I don't know how I feel about that. That's a little early.
Mm-hmm. It is early. I do remember. It was early when it seemed like last year. But it was definitely not this week. I don't even think it was next week. I think it was the week after. I want to
say it could be just because the way that the months are laid out this year, like the way October's laid out, right?
Mm-hmm. I understand
because it is technically releasing in the middle of the month. I mean, it's the second week of October technically.
And what I feel like they're doing, because they do have a lot of holiday merch. If you've been on disneystore.com, if you've been looking online, there are quite a few holiday collections that have dropped on there. What I think is happening is they're releasing it a little bit at a time. Whereas last year, I remember walking into World of Disney one day, the entire thing was there. Everything was in the center of the store.
Or I'm also wondering if they're realizing, hey, 1/3, actually more like 2/3 of our Halloween collection sold out. We need to backfill with whatever we have for Christmas.
Probably. Yeah,
I think that's really what it is.
A lot of the Halloween popular items are gone and will not come back. So yeah, could be right. Definitely a strategy for people to get ahead on the holidays. Those snowman ears, which we know sold out in record time last year, those are back. And if you live near a park or you want to hop in it online, they are available. So, but yeah, we're hoping you get the holiday stuff you want this year.
Actually, just backpedaling a little bit into the tickets. Our live audience actually left us a couple of notes saying, "Hey, just letting you know, you can do like a 3-day ticket deal, kind of like you can with a normal ticket for the kids. So like a 2-day is for 100, 3-day is 150." And the multi-day tickets have to be used within 13 days of the first use.
And we need to backtrack a little bit too, because it is in fact 3 to 9 at Disneyland. Is the child price. 10 over is an adult price. So thank you so much to our Patreon fam for fact checking us. It is ages 3 to 9, and it is for next year, so January 7th to March 20th. They do go on sale October 22nd. That is a Tuesday. That's next week. So thank you so much to our lovely chat who is keeping us in line with our facts. That we do appreciate it. I don't have kids, so I don't check the ticket prices. I'm sorry.
Well, and I think that's kind of the nice thing too, is that we have a lot of cast members that follow us and listen to us. So hey, cast fam, appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we also have a lot of people that are travel agents. Our travel agent fam, they also listen to the podcast too, and so they're the ones that are looking at all those ticket information. Me and Megan, we just have our annual pass and we just go whenever. That's how we operate.
I'm sorry. I gotta pay more attention to those ticket deals. Apologies, but thank you so much again for keeping us in check. We do appreciate our Patreon fam. So yeah, we got a lot of ticket stuff. We got a lot of merch coming. Danielle, you actually noticed this too yesterday, but the Dooney and Burke collection that came out yesterday. Oh, I bought them. Don't you worry.
Did you really?
Do you want to see them? They're right here.
Yeah, I want to see them.
I bought them.
Oh.
Aren't they fun?
They are cute.
Minnie too. You got Minnie's bow, and yeah. They're so cute. So and then I was told in the store that this collection was from years and years ago. This was a thing. This isn't like a new pattern. They brought back the pattern for the ears. They did not have the ears years ago, but the Mickey Mania, is that what it was? I put the name in the
it was called different things. So y'all, this collection, let me give you a little bit of merchandise history from the Dapper Danielle. So this pattern with the gray background, it has like the bits and pieces of Mickey and Minnie Mouse, right? So it has like a silhouette, it has a glove, it has a shoe, it has the pants, it has the bow. This is it was nicknamed multiple things, but amongst the cast, and I believe in actually how it read, was Mickey and Minnie Body Parts. It was literally just called Body Parts.
Which is so gruesome.
It's gruesome.
Really dark.
but this pattern originally released in, I want to say it was January, but it was 2015 was when this pattern initially
almost
released.
A decade ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sorry. Trigger warning, y'all. It was a decade ago. And it came in a tote, a satchel, and a crossbody, I believe. And eventually the typical came in a wallet.
Yeah, the typical bag.
Yeah.
Collection.
This bag lived for a very long time. So usually when a Dooney and Burke comes out and it arrives to Disney World property or to Disneyland property, it will be a limited release run unless it's the white pattern. That is the only one that is a constant. That is the only bag that will stick around for multiple times. And each, like, we have one, Tokyo has one, and Paris, I believe, has a pattern that's exclusive to them. But everybody has a version of the white bag.
Yeah.
The other patterns, though, usually will only stick around for a one-drop release. Once they sell out, they're done. This one kept being restocked to the point when I opened up Ever After Jewelry Company in November of 2017, this bag was still there.
Yeah.
And we kind of saw the end portion of it. It was slowly being discontinued out. And people were really upset when this bag went away, but it was a hot seller. It was one of the number one patterns in the past 10 years for Dooney and Burke. And that's why it's back. They were like, and you can look at this. That's why they did this with the dog pattern, the cat pattern. They're literally just releasing in order the number one sellers globally.
Yes.
Of the Dooney and Burkes and bringing them in ear form.
Yeah, exactly. They're making the ears, which we know people go nuts for. Exhibit A right here. So smart on Dooney and Burke. This is a cute pattern. Of course, I caved once again and got them. Oh my gosh. But I was, and Danielle, I was fully expecting the Haunted Mansion ones, which I think were online for a hot second. Maybe not. Maybe they haven't even dropped online, but there's a Haunted Mansion collection that's coming. And I was fully expecting those because with Halloween coming up, but no, they did this one first. Who knows when Haunted Mansion ears are coming to the parks? So
they also released a new crossbody, and how they get away with it is that the pattern might be the same, but the body type itself is different, and that's how they get around and re-release some of these patterns because they're not supposed to necessarily re-release.
No,
but so. I think it's interesting. Dooney and Burke is trying to hold on to that contract and is still keeping that relationship up. So
they are. Well, they know how to do it. They're, especially with those ears, man, smart, very smart. Oh man, well, I think is that all the Disney news we have for today, Danielle?
I think so.
Is it time we got
we're
into
kind of
our
in this weird
game?
Limbo state of the holidays are starting to creep up on us, and we got to wait and see what's going to happen with the weather coming in.
That is true. Yes. We'll check in next week.
Yeah.
Whatever then. Yeah. Well, I'll be checking in with you tomorrow and Thursday, but hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. I'll keep y'all up to date.
Okay.
Don't worry. But let's see if our producer, Chris, has a game for us. Chris, are you there?
Hello. I do have a game.
Woohoo!
We haven't played this game. I don't think we played it last season, but we're playing it today. It's going to be Once Upon a Timestamp. So the way this one works
this is good. I like this one. Okay.
I'll give you 2 dates or 2 years to choose from. Then you'll pick one of those years. I'll then give you the runtime of a movie that was released in that year, and you'll pick a random point, and I'll play 5 seconds starting from the point you picked, and you'll have to guess what the movie is. If you don't get it, I'll give the other player a chance to pick a point to hear, and then they'll be able to guess. We'll go back and forth until someone gets it. A lot of times, I don't know if it's just the way these work. You land right on like the name of the movie sometimes, or you'll hear like
the main
Could
character.
they say the
talking.
name of a character or something?
Yeah.
like it'll be like Robin Williams or something, like saying like, this movie's Aladdin, and you're like, oh, I guess this is Aladdin. So we'll start with Megan.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you, we'll try 1955 or 1959.
1955, my Disneyland opening year.
So this one is 1 hour and 20 minutes long. So what time would you like to try to do?
Let's go 27 minutes.
27 minutes. Here we go.
It's a boy, it's a boy, it's a boy.
Hello, Jim. Are you there, Jim?
Were you able to hear it?
That sounds like 101 Dalmatians.
Well, that's pretty nuts. So yes, she was able to hear it, and that was correct.
Let's go.
Amazing.
That's
amazing.
impressive.
Thank you.
Actually, you know what? It's a different dog movie. Let's try this again.
Oh, it's not. Oh.
I didn't even think of
wait.
it.
Okay. Oh, it's a different dog movie? Wait, that means
Yeah,
I get a hint. Okay.
Yeah,
It was quiet. Can I hear it one more time?
you can hear it again. I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
for everyone listening at home. That's so funny. Oh my God.
Oh, I know what it is then.
Let's try it. Yeah, how many other dog movies came out around then? Here you go.
I forgot to look. A boy, it's a boy, it's a doctor.
Oh,
What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
It's about as close as I can get to the thing, to the
That's okay.
the timestamp.
Oh, you're fine. There's only one other dog movie. Is it Lady and the Tramp?
It is Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, okay. Okay,
It's when
so
the
Right.
baby was
that was
born.
Goodness gracious.
That was when the baby was. My first guess immediately was Lady and the Tramp, but then I was like, oh, is it the dog or is it the human talking? I can't remember. Anyway, yay. Okay.
Good
Second
start.
time's
Will
charm.
that make it into the episode? Nobody knows.
Only producer Chris knows.
Yeah. Danielle, you're up.
Sounds good.
You have 1994 or 1995?
Let's go 94.
94. This one is 1 hour and 33 minutes. Which timestamp do you want to try?
Let's do the 37-minute mark.
Okay, let's give it
I already
a shot.
know what it is.
Yeah, that's the problem with some of these. That all you have to know is the year, and you can figure it
Right.
out.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay. Keep it together, Chris. Don't cry.
Help! Somebody!
Come on. What are you doing to me? What do you think?
You know it.
Why am I blanking?
It was the only one in 94, Danielle. Come on.
Maybe the saddest point in the movie as well, I would say.
Right?
Actually, not
Oh,
maybe.
it's Lion King.
Yes.
It is Lion King, yes.
It took me a second. I think it's because it's trauma
It's hard.
suppression and not paying attention to that part of the movie.
Yeah.
We do
As soon as
suppress the trauma
the image
from
came
Lion
up,
King.
I was like, oh no. I
The
purposely
worst part.
don't think about this part of the movie.
Right.
Well, Lion King was right. Let's go ahead and Megan, I'm going to give you 59 or 61.
Gosh, we go way back for me. I'll take it. 61 this time.
61. This one is 1 hour and 22 minutes.
Let's go minute 53.
Minute 53.
Out through this little hole. Here, grab a torch. We'll run them down before you can say Bob's your uncle.
It's what you said.
Oh, goodness.
Oh man.
Just based off the accent.
Was that a British accent?
Uh-huh.
Bob's your uncle? Oh my god.
Do you need to listen to the audio again to kind of hear the context of what's happening?
Can I do it one more time, Chris?
Well,
There you go, Horace. Up the stairs.
that's going to be a little bit of a difference in the clip, but I think you have a pretty good idea.
That's 101 Dalmatians.
That one is 101 Dalmatians. Finally, we got to it.
You did. Okay, we did cheat a little bit on that one because Horace came in the second clip. So
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just so hard for me to get right onto the timestamps, which is maybe a flaw of this game. I don't know.
You're
I'm not
doing great.
The
You're doing
benefit
great.
to me and Megan.
Minute 53 means any second in minute 53.
Yeah,
okay.
there's a round then somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's switch it up a little bit for Danielle. Let's do 91 or 53.
Oh, 53.
53.
You gotta go oldies for Danielle.
Oh, yeah.
That one's going to be 1 hour and 21 minutes.
Let's do the 58-minute mark.
58. Here we go.
No, Michael. That was
Oh.
clever.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'll keep playing.
I had a white rat.
That's no mother.
Ah, Peter Pan.
That is Peter Pan. That's right. There's a little Michael drop in
She
there.
said
so
Michael right out the gate, and I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
oh,
I didn't even hear the name Michael.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just heard, what's his name? The bear Lost Boy.
well, I don't know his name, but
I
know
heard his
exactly what you're
voice,
talking
and I was
about.
like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Peter Pan.
Very good. Let's do one more. Let's try. 1959
You really want me to pick 59?
or 1991.
91, please.
91. 59, I think, would have been tough. That would have been Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, it was, not a lot of speaking in that movie, I will say.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
So 91. Let's do. Oh wait, sorry. How long is the movie?
91 is. That one's going to be an hour and 31 minutes. Sorry, that one's going to be an hour and 32 minutes long.
Let's go 46 minutes.
46 minutes in. This will be the last one for this game. Here we go. Take a little bit more just because it's nothing. Oh. What do you think?
I feel like there's only one movie that came out in
Probably.
91. Is it Beauty and the Beast?
This one is Beauty and the Beast, yes.
Yeah.
That was when she was removing
I picked
the
a
glass,
terrible timestamp,
the
but
glass globe thing from the rose.
got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's it. That was Once Upon a Timestamp. We'll be doing that again more. Maybe I'll try to find some maybe some Christmassy things. Maybe some Christmassy stuff. later
Ooh,
on.
yes.
I am getting very much into the Christmas spirit lately.
Yeah, Christmassy, or yeah, Christmassy's good.
And we
I
can
was
also do
thinking, like-
songs as well. Why not? We can do whatever we want.
Oh, that's a good one.
We can
That's a
just do
good
whatever we
one.
want. That's the crazy
it's
part
true.
about it. Is we could literally do whatever we want. But that's it. Thanks so much for playing.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, well, that was super fun. I do like that game. I love that. So I think one of the times, Danielle, we actually did pick some really good timestamps, but I feel like for me, I did not pick good ones on that one. Those are actually pretty hard. But
I actually picked the semi-decent ones.
You picked good ones.
You got some interesting ones in there.
I did. I'm better about my minutes next time. But
Yeah.
thank you again, Chris. All right, Danielle, I think it is time to get into this week's countdown. We are at 1 through 5 of our top 10 obscure Disney facts. So let's see. I think I started last week. So Danielle, if you want to recap your 6 through 10 and then get into your
Yes.
number 5, go for it.
All right. I hope these are in order. I realized that I wrote them down, but I didn't write the numbers next to them like what I usually do. So
You got
correct
this.
me if I'm wrong, y'all. But number 10 was that the utilidors are located on the first floor, and you, the guest, are located on the second and third floor of the Magic Kingdom. I can't read my own handwriting. Yeah, no, because I wrote Ruth.
Ruth? Just the name Ruth?
Well, Ruth. I probably spelled it wrong. Period. Lane. Sure. Number 3 was that Paul Frees is in the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, as well as the iconic voice of the ghost host
Yes.
from the Haunted Mansion. Steve Martin originally worked in Disneyland, and where he got his start from. But I actually, okay, correction to that last episode. I said that he worked in the Main Street magic shop. He did, but that wasn't his home location. He actually originally worked in the magic shop that was located in Fantasyland, which was Merlin's, and that was his regular location. But he did work back and forth in between the two.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And then Steve Martin's inspiration was Wally Bogue, who does the voice of Jose in the Enchanted Tiki Room. He also did the voice of the Barker bird that lived over in Disneyland for the longest time. And he was so iconic that his costume is now referenced in the new Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh, yeah. I like that one. That was good.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your number 5?
My number 5. Okay, this one I feel like a lot of people, all the Disney Worlders know this one.
Okay.
But the one that I think is pretty cool that actually had a very impactful part in music history was that in December 29th, my birthday, but in 1974, John Lennon officially signed the paperwork to dissolve the Beatles at the Polynesian Resort.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That is, I do like that fact a lot.
Yes.
Even though it's, quite sad that the Beatles dismantled officially at Walt Disney World.
Right. And I think it's just funny that, so John Lennon said that he was leaving the band in 68. And there was no official dissolving. There was no official hey, we need to figure out the financials for breaking up the band. How is this going to work? So the paperwork didn't actually get signed until lawyers came to him while he was on Christmas break at the Polynesian Resort. And they're just like, dude, you got to sign this. And only because somebody grabbed a camera and took a photo were we able to find out exactly that he was at the Polynesian. We kind of know what room he was in. I believe it's room 1601, which is kind of just off to the lobby, but it has a really great view. It's the only spot that has a view of the little cutout of the resort and the Magic Kingdoms across the way. That's the only reason why we were able to find that out, was because of photos. And the windows were open when the signing took place. So I think that's kind of cool that the Beatles were dissolved at the Polynesian Resort.
Yes,
officially.
they were. That made it official. Good one. That is a classic Walt Disney World fact. I like that.
Thanks.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So my 6 through 10, let's see. Number 10 was there's a real Disney vault in Glendale. It's a building that houses everything from the films themselves to the sketches and models used to make them. Number 9, Alice in Wonderland was the first animated movie to air on TV in 1954. And number 8, tied into that, Alice in Wonderland has the most songs in any Disney movie. Number 7, Sleeping Beauty Castle was originally supposed to be Snow White's castle, and it was changed to promote the upcoming movie, which was in production when the park opened in 1955. And then number 6 was Disney does not own Tokyo Disneyland. It is actually owned by the Oriental Land Company, and they pay Disney to license out its characters, name, etc. My number 5 is going to be that Nixon's I Am Not a Crook speech was held at the Contemporary Resort at Walt Disney World.
That's my number 4.
No way.
Because it's such an iconic piece of Disney World history. And it's actually funny to think of how much Nixon had to do with Disney history in general, right?
It is kind of crazy. Yeah.
So, because he's one of the few presidents that he visited Disneyland multiple times before he became president and when he was president. He came to Disney World. And so he gave his I Am Not a Crook speech in the Ballroom of the Americas, the B side. And it happened on November 17th of 1973. So Nixon and then the Beatles. And I love how they were crazy. Also right there at the 2 different resorts too, all on the same monorail line.
Right. Yeah. The well, I guess that was the only park that was there at the time was Magic Kingdom, right?
Right.
For both of them. So yeah, I just think that I had no idea, literally until maybe This is after 2010 where I found out his I Am Not a Crook speech was at Walt Disney Worlds, and it was like, really? Why? Wow. Okay. So it is just one of my top obscure Disney facts for sure. But I love that it's your number 4.
Well, okay. I kind of feel like maybe I do have a different fact I could put in for number 4.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So that was my 4. This is 4.
Part 1.
Part 2.
4 part 2. Yeah.
4 part 2.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, I just had it in my mind. What was I going to say?
Did it have to do with Nixon or any presidents?
No.
Okay. Reagan visited Disney a lot. He was also another president that was a Disney fan.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it was right there at the top of my head. What was it going to be?
Do you want me to say my number 4 while you think about it? It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's...
Yeah.
Okay. So Danielle is thinking of her number 4 part 2. I'm going to move on to my number 4, which is it's a very simple one. It's that Haunted Mansion, the mansion itself, the facade of the house, stood completely vacant for years when it was built, because they just did not know how that attraction was going to work. Had a lot of ideas for it. Things weren't really coming to fruition. Things were being tossed around, brainstormed, and it was just
kind of died, kind of threw a wrench in the plans.
And Walt did die. That's correct. Because that was, something that an attraction that he wanted to help create and build, but yes, he passed away. And so there was just this big old white house in the middle, well, on the left side of Disneyland for the longest time. People walking by it like, what is that? Is that a ride? And it was just there. There's no ride inside of it for a very long time. And I also, something that I did not know until I watched Imagineering Story on Disney Plus a couple of years ago. I was like, I had no idea that it was just there for years and years. And they finally put a ride in it in the late 60s? Mid 60s? Somewhere around there. No, 70s. Wait. Okay, I need to go back and do my history. 60s? Late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
anyways.
Goodness.
So that's my my number 4. Do we have yours, Danielle? Part 2.
You said something in what you were originally talking about. And
about
that's
Nixon?
what triggered the fun fact. And I am having a hard time finding it. I am like blanking.
Was it in my 6 through 10?
No, you said it while you were talking about the Nixon speech.
Okay. That I did not know. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Richard Nixon. I'm sorry, everybody. My president's history is not amazing.
And my president history isn't a lot either, unless it happens on Disney World property.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That Magic Kingdom was the only park that was there while Lennon and Nixon did that all that happened in the early 70s.
I remember now. Okay. Okay, I got it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and make this my number 3.
Oh, I like
we'll
it.
just
Okay,
go ahead. I'm just going to make this my number 3. So yes, we both share the number 4 of the Ballroom of the Americas.
Yes.
You know what else happened over on that monorail line?
Oh,
Before the resort even opened. So we have a world event that happened for Polynesian. We have a world event that happened over at Contemporary Resort.
Grand
Floridian. On the beach of the Grand Floridian. What music video was filmed there before the resort opened?
Beach Boys. Yes, I just watched the documentary. Yes, it was was it Kokomo?
Kokomo.
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, I just watched the documentary on Disney Plus. Disney Plus, and I was enthralled the entire time. I had no idea there's so much crazy history about the Beach Boys, and that was on there. And it's so fun to learn about. But yes, I just learned about this. I had no idea.
So yes, if y'all did not know,
Beach Boys songs.
The random song Kokomo of Bermuda, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take it to Bermuda. Bahama. Don't give us a copyright strike. And that the song Kokomo was filmed on the beach of the Grand Floridian Resort like 2 weeks before the resort even opened. So when before the resort opened, the Beach Boys got to stay there. And they were really the ones that were kind of testing it out. And the cast members were kind of practicing opening up the resort to the Beach Boys, which is even crazier. Yeah. So if you watch the music video, because it happens at night, you don't really pay attention to the background a lot because it just looks like a late night bonfire kind of vibe on the beach. But no, it's the Grand Floridian beach that was originally there between the Polynesian Resort and Grand Flo. And it's the one that John Stamos is in also, and he plays drums. Yep. And it makes it even better.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Oh man, that's such a good fact. I cannot believe I didn't put that in my 1 through 5. I'm gonna make that my number 4
you
part
said
2.
It, and I was just like talking about the different resorts, and that's what triggered it. So thank you, Megan.
I'm glad that you caught it. You put it in because we just finished watching that documentary, which if you haven't seen it yet on Disney Plus, highly recommend, because who doesn't love the Beach Boys? I'm sorry. I truly prefer to listen to the Beach Boys more than the Beatles, and I will take that to my grave because I just love their sound. Have since the day I was born. And so, yeah, I had no idea that they filmed it on the Grand Flo Beach. So that was really fun to learn about. I'm making that my number 4 part 2 because you were about to do that. So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Oh, dang. I should have put that in my top 5. Okay. Anyway, love that fact. Thank you, Danielle, for thinking of it.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 is complete 180 of that, and it's over at Disneyland Paris, and that is that the dragon underneath Disneyland Paris' Sleeping Beauty Castle is not Maleficent, contrary to some popular belief, but it's actually a dragon that is a friend of Merlin's, the wizard Merlin. This is something I just learned recently, actually, after I went to Disneyland Paris and saw the dragon. I just thought it was a dragon. I actually did not think it was Maleficent because it doesn't look like Maleficent. So I was just thinking, oh, they put a fun little dragon underneath Sleeping Beauty's castle, which you would assume is Maleficent because it's the same movie. But no, friend of Merlin's, and it has this beautiful name, this French name that you see. That's the lair of the dragon as you enter down below. And really cool thing to see if you do get a chance to go to Disneyland Paris. That is like top 3 thing to go and see for sure. Great little attraction there. And it gets real close to you. It's like a big old dragon and you're right up against it.
He's kind of frightening.
He's a little scary. He's got a little
scary.
He looks pretty real, not gonna lie. So that one's kind of fun. But okay, what is we're at number 2 now? Are we already number 2?
We are already on number 2.
All right, go for it.
Oh goodness. Oh, see, now I'm kind of second guessing myself because now I feel like the Kokomo one, I like it as my 3, but it's also throwing me off too because I had a really good one also. Oh, dang it.
You know what? We're giving ourselves some leeway here, Danielle, for this episode. Go ahead and make a 2-parter. You should combine the ones that you were gonna.
Okay, I can combine my number 1 into 2. Like it's a part A and a part B for my number 1.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. But my number 2 was, if you're part of the golf community, right? Everybody knows Arnold Palmer. At least they know a drink, which is half lemonade, half tea, right? Sweet tea.
Named after a golfer.
Arnold Palmer was a legit golfer and hosted a lot of the PGA tours and everything that happened here in Florida. Well, when Walt Disney World opened in 1971, what was his name? He was in charge of marketing. And Disney World, before we had the parks, because we only had Magic Kingdom, we wanted to be the vacation destination of the world, right? So golf courses are a really big part of our history.
Yes.
And the first golf course that opened was right there off to the side of Magic Kingdom, kind of where Shades of Green is today. Actually, it is where Shades of Green is today. And that was the first PGA golf course. And the Disney marketing's like, we need to really put ourselves on the map in the golf community. We need to host a PGA tour, and we want to do it in the first year that we're open. And the marketing guy's like, wait, what? You can't just walk into the golfing community and say, hey, we're hosting a tour. Like, come on in. So they had to hunt down Arnold Palmer down the way and said, hey man, can we give you a tour of property before we open? Like, and this is in September of 71, before we opened up in October. And they're walking him around, and because if you get Arnold Palmer's blessing to be able to be like, yes, let's host a tour here, let's host a championship on Disney World property, you're in with the big boys,
of course.
And so they bring him in, and one of the sales tactics for his tour was they were like, okay, we need to really sell him on Disney World. Is there anything open? Is there anything that we can show him? You know what, Mr. Palmer? They just installed and they're testing the monorail. Do you want to go test it and go take a ride on the monorail? And like, they literally attached the first car to the track that same day. And they were like, you know what? It'll be fine. And the engineering guys are like, no, stop, don't do it. We don't even know if it's going to run. And you're going to get Arnold Palmer trapped on the monorail. Right. And it's not going to work. But it did work. And supposedly was one of the real selling points of why Arnold Palmer agreed to it, was because he was technically the first guest to ever ride the monorail.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I did not know that whatsoever, but I get it. Arnold Palmer
Arnold Palmer was the first one to ride the monorail when it was being tested and installed in 71.
And therefore they got their golf tournament, right?
We got our golf tournament. We won, and Arnold Palmer did compete, and he actually lost to his rival. Oh, what was his name? Jack Nicholls.
Jack Nicholls. I was about to say Jack. That's the weirdest thing. No idea that it was Jack Nicholls, but I was about to say it's a Jack for sure.
Oh, it totally was. Yeah, they had this severe rivalry. So it was funny that Arnold was hosting it, but then Jack won the championship, the first one.
That's kind of funny. It was fun. Yeah, right. Like Arnold Palmer was the solidifier in getting the tournament, and then he lost to his rival. It's a very, it's almost like a classic Disney story. I love that. Okay.
Exactly. Major world events that you didn't know about.
No, that is amazing. So yay, learning all the new things from the Dapper Danielle, as we normally do. But that is a good one. Okay. All right. I love Arnold Palmer's, by the way. It's a great drink.
I went to the grocery store and I was like, if I'm gonna have any hurricane drinks, it's gonna be my little canned Arnold Palmer right here. Hashtag not sponsored.
Yep.
But
cans are good.
Yes.
I like when they're freshly made too, but the cans are actually not bad.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 2 for me is going to be a little bit movie related here, and it's so I learned this actually I think a few years ago, but Robin Williams, voice of Genie, R.I.P. He took a huge pay cut and agreed to voice Genie because he wanted to do it for his kids. So he's like, yes, I'll do Genie for Aladdin, but and I want to do it for my kids. But he didn't want his voice to be used in the merchandising following the movie. Disney agreed to that originally, but then after the movie came out, they were like, oops, Genie's the star of this film. And they actually did end up using his voice for products that were sold after it. And Robin was very, very mad at that. He's like, you agreed, you went back on it, and I'm pissed, right? So it caused a huge fight between Robin Williams and the Walt Disney Company. And Disney actually sent him a Picasso painting that was worth upwards of $1 million to try and rectify the situation and be cool again.
So we stole your voice. Here's a Picasso.
Here's a Picasso. Legit, right here. I don't know if that's what won him over, but eventually they did make up and everything was fine. But Disney...
he came back for the other movies, so they must have figured out something.
They did. He came back for the straight to VHS films, so everything was, hunky-dory after, but Robin was initially not very happy because that was his one stipulation about voicing Genie. And that he also took a pay cut, so... But, but everything was fine. It's all good. In the late 90s.
That's actually the reason why in the attraction here at Walt Disney World, where it's Magic Carpets of Aladdin, the audio and the safety spiel is done by the voice actor of Aladdin. However, you do not hear Genie's voice during the attraction, and the Spanish, like my friend Jeannie says, the Spanish voice is not Robin Williams.
No.
And I think that is exactly why.
Yeah. There probably some parts where Disney was like, no, we do need to honor the agreement. Robin Williams did do hours and hours of takes, ad libs, and completely unscripted things for Genie for the original Aladdin, which is how they're able to use his voice for a lot of things that are happening posthumously, like the 100 Years of Wonder. Oh my God, what's the short that just came out for the 100-year anniversary? Oh goodness,
Once Upon a Studio.
Yes. Yes, they're still able to use his voice for things like that because there were so many lines that he was able to record. So yeah. R.I.P.
That's
Robin.
a good one. I like that one.
Thank you. Okay, we're down to it, Danielle. Number 1.
All right, our number 1. So before we get into y'all, thank you again so much for listening this far into the episode. We genuinely really, really appreciate you. And hopefully you learned a little extra fun fact somewhere down the road in this episode. Or if you are all smarty pants, or maybe you watch my videos a little bit earlier, then you might know some of these already. But this one I actually have not done a video on, and I probably will do a video as we get closer to Disney World's dedication anniversary, because Walt Disney World was dedicated on October 25th of 1971, even though we technically opened in October 1st. Because we delayed opening and didn't celebrate it because Disney was trying to avoid Black Sunday with the opening of the same thing that happened with Disneyland and the chaos that ensued. So, but during the dedication and the opening ceremonies lasted for 3 days. So they started on October 23rd and went through the 25th. Back to Nixon. Nixon was supposed to be there. And he was supposed to be there for the opening, but a lot of other things were happening, and nobody's surprised. A lot of other things were happening, and there was just too much happening. And I think somebody also said it was something about Secret Service could not be like verified or like to that extent, because now he was officially president. It wasn't like beforehand where he was in Disneyland and he was not president yet.
Right.
So for this, since Nixon was like, oh, I kind of hate that I couldn't go. I liked my time over in Disneyland. I want to be there to represent. We should do something. He took the flag. Nixon took the flag that was flying over the White House, the American flag, took it down and actually sent it via Secret Service, came and delivered it to Roy Disney. And that was the flag that was raised and flown on October 25th, was the same flag that flew over the White House, flew over Main Street, USA on Dedication Day.
No way.
And it came with a letter from the president directly to Roy saying, I hope that this is a symbol of everything that you're doing for America and for the growth of the economy in Florida. And may this just be a symbol of freedom and free enterprise to the world. And so the flag only flew for like, I don't even know if it flew for more than a day, but it was taken down and was immediately taken to the people that started the archives, because the Disney archives had just started up at that point, right after Walt died. So it did come out 50 years later, during the 50th anniversary. It did make it an appearance over at the Hall of Presidents, the original flag and the original letters from Nixon and the ones from Roy back to Nixon. And so very cool that the same flag that was over top of the White House also flew over top of Main Street in its opening. And it was the first time a president has ever done that before.
Wow, that is so cool. Also something I had no idea. Okay.
Oh, part 2 to that real quick is that during the dedication speech, so that flag's flying up above and then you see Roy Disney standing there at the pedestal. And that morning there's videos of like of Roy's wife, and then also Lily Disney, Walt's wife, was there. And then it kind of looks like it's unbalanced a little bit, because then all of a sudden Mickey's just there off to the side. Mickey wasn't supposed to be there originally.
Oh.
So Roy gets up there to the pedestal and is about to do the dedication, and he stops. I guess he turns off to the side, gets a hold of somebody, and an Imagineer is the one that a couple Imagineers are the ones that retold this story of that. Roy turned and he whispered, he's like, somebody find Mickey, get Mickey here. Walt's not here, and Mickey is the closest thing we have to Walt. He needs to be here.
Aww.
And that's the reason why Mickey was up there at the dedication speech, because he represents Walt.
Oh,
isn't that so sweet?
That's really sweet. Oh, I love that so much. That's so cool. I love that fact. I had no idea. So that is
the
so
podcast
cool.
fam is getting an early preview of the video I still need to make for later on this month. So,
yeah, because that is coming up in a few weeks. Oh wow.
Yes, it is.
That's awesome, Danielle. Thank you for that. That is a great number one pick.
Thanks.
And I wish you went second after me, because my number one is that John Lennon signed the official separation of the Beatles at the Polynesian Resort in 1974. That's so boring.
No, that's great. I love how it just comes around full circle. Of like,
here
that
we
was
are.
my number 5, and now it's your number 1. I love that. When did you learn that? I guess
it's been my favorite fact for many years. Like, because when I found that out, I was just like, no way. At the Polynesian, the Beatles dismantled. There's no way. And so I've just loved that fact ever since. I don't know when I found out, but it was many moons ago. And that, it was like announced way before then, years before then, but yeah, it became official in that room at the Polynesian Village. So, there's my number 1. I'm sorry, it's so anticlimactic. Danielle had such a good and heartfelt and really like big number 1 pick, and there's me with a repeat. So,
that's okay.
This was fun. It's such a fun list to come up with. I did a lot of research for mine, because I had a few off the top of my head, but I did have to do my research as well.
I think my hardest part was just deciding which ones I really wanted to talk about.
For sure.
And I don't think these were actually like in order of my 10 through 1. Like I'll just say these whenever I want to.
Yeah.
But there's so many other cool and interesting facts, but I really wanted to tie in ones here at the top 5 that really were either icons in history to show like how much history has actually happened on Walt Disney World property.
Like big history, like national, it's sports, even international. It's really, truly pretty cool what has happened. It's definitely at Walt Disney World, some at Disneyland, but definitely at World. So, but yeah, if you guys want to hear more, I believe we are doing a bonus episode for this. So we'll have some more obscure Disney facts, our 11 through 15. And you can hear that by joining our Disney Countdown Show Patreon fam. Again, the link is in the episode notes. That'll be a fun one. We get a little more, we talk a little bit more ratatouilles over on the bonus episodes. But yeah, we got a new countdown coming. That rounds out this one. Got a new one coming for you next week. And yes, we're wishing the best of luck to Danielle during this hurricane. As of course, as this episode airs, it has already passed, but I'm still wishing Danielle and everyone in Florida to be safe, and praying for you guys over there. So I'm sending very, very positive vibes to Florida
all the pixie
at
dust.
This time. All the pixie dust, yes. Yes, just stay safe.
Don't worry.
As best
won't
you
be
can.
seeing the Dapper Danielle pull the Florida man on TikTok or anything like that. Don't you worry.
Stay inside, please.
I will.
Okay.
All
well,
righty.
guys, thank you so much for listening. And until we see you next time, have a very magical day.
And night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Yeah, I can picture it now. The TikTok headline: the Dapper Danielle seen surfboarding on what appears to be a giant 6-foot alligator. That would be awesome.
That would make big time news.
It would.
To have your name at the end of our new episodes and to receive a bunch of magical perks, please check out our Patreon via the link in the episode notes.
Or visit patreon.com/Disney Countdown Show. We'll see you there.